So we have another broken solar light, slightly different design, and this one I don't believe is showing any signs of life, so we'll reduce it down to the business end. There are some screws in the base, don't bother undoing them. You can just remove the top by turning it anti-clockwise to get to the business end. So we'll take this into a dark room and see if there are any faint signs of life. So we're in a darkened room and I'm not seeing anything, so we'll go outside and have a look. I'll take a screwdriver to it. It's just a Phillips screwdriver. We'll see what's going on inside. So that's all 3 screws removed. We'll see what's in here. Oh. So we've got a battery, and I presume that goes to the solar cell, and a little circuit board. So I'm going to get my multimeter now. So I'll set as multimeter onto volts DC, making sure you've got it in the correct slots, not the 10 amp DC one. And then we do a quick little test for a 0. And we've got a bit of power somewhere. Yeah, terminals, a little bit of power in the battery perhaps. Need to see if the solar panel is working. So we'll remove the battery and repeat that test. So the battery's removed, we'll just check that in isolation. And it is a little low. That may be a problem. If you test these under load, it does drop even further, so not sure. We'll see if it's charging. See if we've got any output from the solar cell. So with the battery removed, we'll probe the battery terminals, and I think we've worked out why we have got a we've got a defective solar panel on this one. There's no output from that whatsoever, so that's unfortunately not good. As this is a repair channel, I'm going to have a go at digging out the adhesive there, and we may be able to remove it. I'm not so sure. I'm wondering what these are. I'm hoping they're just part of the injection moulding process, but we're unsure at this stage. I've been carefully digging away at the adhesive here, and I've noticed the red wire. I do hope you can see it. It's made a break for freedom from the solar panel. It can't be connected very well, if at all. It looks like there's some corrosion got in there. Probably as it rains, rain goes in the solar panel, and it rots its own wiring, corrodes connections, that kind of thing. That's my best guess. It would be really nice to be able to remove this. I'll try a little idea I have to remove it. So I've had the idea, maybe a little heat from an old hairdryer might just free up whatever's holding the solar panel in place. Might be in a position then just to lever it off with a knife, or in my case a tool for removing the watch backs. There's actually a wire here. While I was digging the cable out, that came loose, so that is our problem. We just need to be in a position to repair it. So we now put a bit of heat in it, and it's quite easy just to chip the glass actually. It's a tiny chip. You can just move it side to side. So I've been moving it side to side for a while, and there's the hole there where the wires came out of, and I just had the idea just to gently put a bit of force on it using the multimeter probe, for the want of a better tool. I can just feel the glass lifting at the other side, sorry, the panel. So we've got that lifting at the moment. Done quite a good job of sealing this, but the heat certainly helped weaken the silicone. It feels slightly warm to the touch. So it looks like we may have a problem. The original wire came from there. So we'll see if we can just position it back on and see if it works. I could do with an extra pair of hands here. So I've got multimeter probes on the good side, and if I put them on this side, we do get a reading, which is particularly low because the solar panel's facing down. And if I invert the solar panel, give it some sunlight, hopefully we'll get a higher reading. Yeah, we do. So we need a bit of skillful soldering if this is possible. It's always difficult when you're soldering to something what's glass-like, because it can drain the heat out of the soldering iron. But we will try. So let's have a go at it. I'm going to clean the iron off first and freshly tin it. I'm going to put quite a bit of solder on it, but without going too mad. And then if I can put that where it was, we'll see if we can successfully do it. You have to bear in mind it's dirty, so yeah, we're not going to do that. The corrosion has got to the wire. We need to re-terminate that and potentially tin this surface. So I've been struggling a little here. Managed to get a ball of solder on something I can't really see. There could be a piece of conductor coming out from there. So I'm just going to go for it and solder this to the ball of solder. It's moving. Yeah, it's not permanently fixed. No, not working. So we're now unable to repair this. We've put his multimeter probes on there. We can actually get some kind of a voltage from it. So it gets me wondering if I could maybe press that on and glue it. Well, it's been a couple of days and I've came back to this. We've ordered a replacement solar cell. This was pretty inexpensive, or so I originally thought. It's a 2-volt solar cell. That is an awkward size to actually replace, and I doubt it'd be cost effective. I was actually led to believe that I got 5 of these solar cells for £2.56, which I consider a good amount for a repair. But actually only one turned up in the post, but that's another issue. So we'll desolder this. It is actually marked up positive there. We've just noticed that. It's very faint. I hope you can see it. And by elimination, that should be the negative. So I've got my soldering iron ready. I'll just tin it, and hopefully the heat of the solder will quickly allow a desoldering. So I'll give this one a twizzle. And we'll freshly tin this connection here and its counterpart, which maybe a bit of tarnishing on that. There's something amiss. I did spend quite a bit of time trying to resolder it to the old solar panel, so maybe that's what I'm fighting. So we have a new trusty solar panel here. We've got a couple of options. We can either solder there, or maybe just piggyback on there. It makes no difference. We'll have a go at soldering on the pads. I think I'll just trim that off. We'll give this a trim. And we'll just tin the pads. Just clean my iron. I always like to have a clean iron. See how that works out. I don't really want to put too much heat into it, you know, too much contact. I'll just try and minimise that there. I know how easy these things can damage. So red is the positive on the previous markings. I think I'll trust that at this stage, even though that, since it's a low power thing. So now we've got the wire tinned and the pad tinned, we should just be able to apply a bit of heat and fuse them together, like so. Make sure you've got a little bit of solder on your iron. See, that will only work with solder. Bit of a battle. That's two done. So what we'll do now is reassemble this and see if it works. And we have a result there. There's a bit of tidying up to do. I've got an idea for the top. It's a little bit dim. It's probably going to extinguish because the battery is very discharged. So this is the part where we attempt to guerrilla engineer it for more longevity. We've got a bit of leftover bathroom sealant, and basically you can see here the water has found its way in, and that's what we want to prevent. We want to make it so any water just lands on it and disappears down the sides anywhere but inside. So I've got the old solar panel here, and I always put a screw in every container of silicone so it tends to last. So the actual nozzle of the gun is blocked, but that's not going to stop me. I'll remove the nozzle and just gun the bit on. I'm going to spread it. The idea is to get it in the edges more than the centre. Just use the screw to do it. I've even covered the screw heads up as well. I'll replace the panel and then push that down. And I think we'll give it a bit of a clean up before we use a final bit to stick this down. So for the cleanup, I've got a cloth with a blob of washing up liquid on, and that should destroy the silicone a lot better than water, so we're going to nuke it where we don't need it. I'll just dry off with a dry part of the cloth, and we'll have one blob to secure the new solar panel. I think that should do it. What I want to do is get these wires totally in it. If necessary, I'll just cover the wires. That's where the corrosion will occur. And the tracks. A night thing, so the daytime look doesn't matter so much to me. Cosmetically, I accept that is not the best finish, so I'll have a further clean up and finish off. So I've neatened the silicone sealant up, and we can see the panels stuck quite evenly round it, so that should keep the moisture out. The wires are unfortunately still exposed, so cosmetically not a great repair, but I don't really care what it looks like as long as it lights up at night. So many thanks for watching, and why not subscribe to learn of more repair possibilities.